omo predict say Kamala Harris representing the Democrats NDC for America omo be win the elections no ba yen omo di agupoto Fitch Solutions omo ti Trump and the winning na Fitch Solutions in omo for the past be 8 no more than a year omo de report bi ababonte be bia omo say Mahama ebe winning abano na wo kan omo krata no a omo base source no say ene info analytics Musa Dankwa the Musa Dankwa betro e won ni Facebook and na obe release ama traditional media for no so publish bi no eno na Fitch Solutions omo America omo ejina so ka say based on Musa Dankwa enema wo no atwotro ni nti no John Mahama ebe win abato no e wo my Ghana say me no ka say Fitch Solutions predict say NDC for partners no America no mo ye Democrats no led by Kamala Harris ebe win no ware ama MPP ni na wa brochire no America no MPP panimu no wa brochire America no ono atimi awini elections no na make asemi kopo na masaka bibi say hey Fitch Solutions info analytics some solutions ka ho na
global info analytics
and the solutions ka ho okay mati and no your problem me baza eti ene the same conversation na san ba say wo ye ubia wo ye media analyst political analyst communication specialist we a communicator na wo anasa wo ye obi a wo to abakeke na wo hu sa predictions here ebe ekofo se makoye polls aba say ni say me no ka say ABC efo so e de buy say group we from Institute of Good Governance eso akwakoye more research about bonte say not about me is leading the polls by 50.48%. 50.48%. And then and as I report also about bonte Institute of Good Governance for and the research no ya omodi aba e be busa say political terrain a cost we say na say enkofo de san ma to tumu a eya na etim bonkofo hu ana and then what is the relationship between polls and then the reality on the day of the election once again it was for memo bi akwa ba kwaku wo ye kweku e no ye kweku
me de ne KWEK
something kwe te wo kan be kweku
wo de kweku wo de no ye kweku kweku
afrem dawru keke mi dawru mi dian dawru na ada na wo bra kweku no kweku
me ya beta pe kweku no
da bi me
fa dawru titina no
wo za beta ka kweku no
na me say
na say kwa wo ya me na kweku no so
wo bra di na ka sa wo ada na
is it your bre okay ti dawru mame una Musa Dankwa ye wa danfo enti me pese ye hwe no ye wia ne ya ba register now easy for the ababonti na this for reservation let me cross me comments on it if the pastor yanko
okay say about the over the years no man for you push na encrofo ba ko a ya no mu push ehu economic and intelligence unit for
EIU for
na afi so mo ba June or so
yes
omo ba en me nya hu report bi abiem minim se bi aba me na man hu dia and that time report omo prediction was that John Mahama NDC stand a better chance of winning without John Mahama omo prediction no na Musa Dankwa sha say oye the polls no me Musa Dankwa polls bi obeye bia no o send me bi na o de ba wo ma bi 30 minutes one no asa send we say first one was sending mistake munti why update and I be sad
hey sir
oh yes me pull be obey bia no send be man because me what me former station no me nini nya o chance no we thought say na credible so me nini nya encounter me nini one or two interviews but later no be etia me na say ade ani ya adwuma
adwuma say
ade ani ya adwuma so obekaya I have been consistent on that say ade ana Musa Dankwa ye no adwuma and the adwuma was to drive the public perception ever John Mahama ni NDC for and Musa Dankwa started say oh yeah before some people before be primaries no obeye bosumi bi obeka so waye post polls obey no outcome ni yeminu. One, Alanche Martin ebe wini Bawumia. Any your first one. Two, Alanche Martin any Alanche Martin Mahama contestia. Mahama be wini. Now mum say Alanche Martin Bawumia contestia. Friends, Mahama ne Bawumia e contestia. Magia Mahama di be wini Bawumia no. So say Magia Mahama di be wini Alanche Martin. So now o shape MPP for going to tell them say Bawumia Alanche Martin will perform better against Mahama Esin Bawumia because omo who said Bawumia a threat at the Mawomo, so they wanted to get rid of him so that Alan Ba a easy pass. Now Mahama me winning into a status or driver's perception. No, it may be and you're pulling Benny every time be a two outcome. So outcome near constant and it's a and with Dimuana Alanche Martin a coalition. And me put them a predator as Anka could free a betrayal Alanche Martin. Or better so a funny saying Ted. Or better so third one, or better so fourth. Because I can say I could do a free bar, a bar, Kennedy bar, I could do a free bar, now better so third. But our manisa and the Koban so post ni by Alan Shea Hope pa na Musa Dan Kwadia Mano say only did the whole country or yes, me kai me of Father Cabrio fan people we be a michia away. Then Musa Dan Kwa post he say ya na me of Father Cabre afrena kunit FM. Nyandi awia by this time na omoto pa na Musa Dankwa chirim baby a Alan elidie ene kwa Alan befa so wini Bawumia a wani beje ade ye adwuma enti adwuma no body Alan Martin
okay
and very soon no adwuma no bebadi Mahama so
okay.
But me catch them people penny for personally me free bi no catch them say look ade a papa na ye no a plan to drive public perception ahead of the election. Say, but Mahame winning, na Krofaka so. Say, Mahame winning, yeah. And they so far around can no winning. And check and a fetch for report by say, Mahama be winning by 54%. You heard data, no man, no credit to source, no source of data, no prediction, no. I'm a Musa Dankwa. And I may say, they catch them. Say, global info analytics, no. O gainy grounds. Or the report in the bar, obi anya critic. And once a journalist, now when access to the media houses, now or co-interview. So 40 agruchila, they see him to be credible. It's not be ano, omofano da juma. About the do baby a dream. 34. So some predictors say a be winning, Kamala Harris be winning. Yes. And Wakako lose. And the omo predictors say, oh, I predict Mahama a be winning by 54%. Now, Osha election, 54% election year. Eh? Osha election na yekuya obi a 54% election yekuyi. Look, this election a very difficult so no be winning by 51%. Maximum mimi hu everything no be winning by 51%. A very difficult so be winning more than 51%. Into be predict say Mahama be winning by 54%. Automatically so to say entro because 2016 Akufo-Addo winning by 54%, you know. Now by this time November 8, you know, na a glaring, na a obvious, na a clear. You say Jacob said the whole play say Akufo-Addo will be winning because that time no Akufo-Addo just impose na or kasa. Akufo-Addo just baby na or kasa. Wow to me who say ayi ora na wona hono chese obedin nkuni. But you can't see that today around the opposition leader Mahama. And no opposition leader power frustrated that all the attempt. But 2016 Sabri na Mahama or ye incumbent president, you know, and now why frustrated because no one so opposition the fire be then ba. So general platform so I say they that hear about me and co say incompetent to frustration. But today about me dimina when or very calm or at ease. Or turn the message. My opposition leader no more pressure than the swama. And no more channel you say stop it. No see. It be a say this election dear. And ya dear sa predictions now. Omodi kind baby. May try a yabana smart sapon waba.
That be me. Of
report be latest report be my University of Ghana for is it political science department. Somebody tanabana.
University of Ghana.
Political science department.
Omunya release ba mahu kakra. Mahu the latest one.
Okay.
Who the latest one, but I don't want to go ahead of them. Yeah. But the latest one also no, it puts what about me ahead of about 50%.
Okay, so data may train, data may bit me pusumi. Dr. Smart Sapon, omu data. University of Ghana Political Science Department, omu data. But you're the one ahead of the political science,
Dr. Alidu.
Dr. Alidu.
Yeah, Alidu. Okay. I think it's Alidu.
Dr. Alidu is head of political science department.
Yes.
University of Ghana.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Alidu is minimum papa.
I can't say much about him. Alidu was my dear first year, I think.
Okay. And he said, what to say?
Oh, a young man.
No, young.
I bet you are done. Oh.
Yes.
When it comes to the credibility, I think say I can vouch for him.
Okay.
Alidu credibility, I think say I can vouch for him. Initially, no. Okay, what happened is say, okay, PhD buy na okay PhD buy this one also. To Drew Baby said they tried to use him kakra one or two places, but now he's found his feet. He was stabilizing and okay. Anything my year Juma or more credibility was right.
Okay.
Now the thing is he's okay.
So you better train yeah. Professor Smart Sapon will be a predictor wound to me Belusu and regional chairmanship election. On the quiet report in the buy.
ABC for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, you know the prediction, no, a buy prediction, no.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I just know way no may train. ABC for my report be.
On time to me.
No, me can't this one. This part.
Oh, 7 year name a year for the year instead of good governance for a year.
Now 50 points.
50.48.
Okay. So may train Professor Smart Sapon the report. Number 3, University of Ghana Political Science Department report.
Yes.
Then we can take it from there. But Musa Dankwadi, to be
Mr. Santi Pacho, Mama, you screenshot be.
Okay.
Mama screenshot be. Fab, you the bra. Trump the Fabra.
Okay.
What if a Trump the Ebra? Na me shade. What the Trump the bar? Na a may come. What didn't you know about to so? Na ya say, I found out you know what there was to be a bit of that so. Na ya aha. And you know, Fitch for at the bar, you know. Fitch for a car say Harris ebe winning and a Trump a weary in the passa. Dear Fitch for at the Babontini. I think say they've done the honorable thing. Almost say voters have become sophisticated. We didn't get the right opinion of the people for our polls. Fitch on Trump's win. Voters have become sophisticated. We didn't get the right opinion of the people for our polls. But I think we a little bit ambiguous, kakra. Say we didn't get the right opinion of the people for our polls. What do they mean by that? My bigger
useless.
If you so, me batch of Fitch for side could be by open bit the water so. Side batch you free stuff no bra. Fitch for no case of predicting for Harris no media no so amount. It is obinya na ka de no so atoso. Fitch for a predictive for Harris. What they're not to see we are like a babusa a bigger say dear for the abba said they didn't get the right opinion as a day no. What the cocos yeah.
Godo. Yeah. Edikano Yemfie Musa Dankwa the other buy.
Yes.
Of course, Fitch FF Musa Dankwa.
Ghana deɛ no. Okay.
Nti yɛbɛ hwɛ ne nyinaa.
Okay, and I was saying nyinaa deɛ a na mefa bento to so. Ne fa ko nyinaa same straight away. But the madam man nyinaa okay. Eti wei Fitch for website am call no. Was say US election. Harris expected to win narrowly, but major race for global stability and industries, which is on said the yana mami no be win even though any landslide no. She was going to where Monday September 23rd. 2024 but for next one bra okay it will so Fitch for NDB by was say NDC can win 2024 elections no way EIU NDC can win 2024 elections but not with Mahama but not with Mahama we there okay we next one now Musa Dankwa Dini Alan Bisbaumia for NPP presidential contest. Global Info Research. But to as I mentioned, percentage of the share Baumia and Shadie. Second paragraph. According to a research conducted by Global Info Analytics, it's a renowned Alan Chamate is winning the NPP presidential election by 44% against 32% by Dr. Baumia. 44 for Baumia, for Alan Chamate. 32 for Baumia. Ya no any info for and edit to home. Musa ebi no be man, then we can just have the conversation. All right. Biggest afi yanko.
Go on. Masha as Meka say, if you play propaganda with polling research, election research, the election results will expose you.
Exactly.
If you play propaganda with polling research and not election research, the election results will expose you.
Yes.
If you play propaganda with the gift of prophecy, election results will expose you.
And I said, that room suffer.
What does here? If you play propaganda with the gift of prophecy, election results will expose you. Share Fitch a solution. See, almost for Ghana hand say no, almost for more data if you will for change. Global info analytics.
Yes.
And clearly you see, say, Fitch is getting things wrong. Almost predict for USA, Harris be winning.
Yes.
Clearly it was wrong.
Yes.
This week here, one more predict Botswana. Sir, I think the incumbent will win.
Yeah.
I
want to lose swing.
And guess what?
Fitch for Nabium.
Omabium. Now, first of all, Eba Ghana say no. The more Kaba Ghana no, almost far information if he Musa Dankwa honum. Na godo. Sa wo hwe Musa Dankwa ni polls ni a. Bibia de say a paid poll. Adia obi a sheda man sika say onye ema yenya favor.
Okay.
Now once you start doing that, you know, you are playing propaganda with election research. What does it? And the final results in eba expose you. Obanya hu sika ende e da she obotom. And so time no so na election results number we nimbe guase. Hwe godo make I say somewhere in April, May.
Yeah.
Musa Dankwa a first poll bi a. Oka say Mahama win lead by 54%.
Yes.
And no Oisu 82 82 constituencies. Peter ebetena ha e wa mu bie mu share how deceptive he was being.
Yes.
And that other Ghana for. Nineka near and you're correct. You see who be? We just seen some here. Yeah, last year. Yeah, primary MPP. Or can say Baumia renew. Sorry. Alan be renew over Baumia.
Alan be 44, Baumia 33.
Say more sikana one quad down and your research now. Ube good mass. It's a by now. Musa Dankwa should be speaking. He should not be speaking. Into the idea say, a woman who say figures an ever down for him.
It's a movement.
And the last one being said, Muhammad has a 51 or something. He's being forced. Who say a man who say or dada and Kofunti. He's being forced.
Yeah, no, on the Facebook we never share the whole latest. Why?
Yes, he's being forced. To okay, remember down now. I say, may ye be a correct to be obwa and tronqua. A pure lies, Musa Dankwa. And I'm telling him, so I'm telling Ghanaians, say, as now a deal can. Baumia Shas your bar pro. Ghana for have seen clearly. And 7 December, it don't come say. We will see, say, Ghana for want something good for themselves. Amount for want to protect their future. We'll see it here. And he said, who could be some wrong questions. And now, you see, you can go and do a poll. I will be some wrong questions.
Yes.
To favor us.
And a sample no cry.
And a sample no. Maybe I will fail if you cry upon. Musa Dankwa in April. Or can I say, you already say of 82 constituencies. And or say or share Oma or share from or share baseline from 2020. Consensus someone to both presidential and parliamentary. Emma Abia NPP no. Of a must stronghold.
Yes.
For MPP. Just for 2020 people. And baby I'm to presidential and parliamentary for Emma NDC no. Or for also as NDC stronghold. For just 2020. What they know Jinaso and they predict the eba. Now what on the actually say you come no. Ushema baby a original Kasebia has say no a MPP stronghold for that you know. And you come back 2016 and 2012 8 and Kahunia NDC for the vote on.
I'm what the MPP stronghold.
Yes.
But I'm my MPP winning the ones.
Yes. And see, what said I could send them a cookie data. And I want him. I also understand something why as a fish for him.
Okay.
Most of them can report no or any fine pa.
Sir.
Reports effect.
So see no.
So who are infographics so I fine. And see, without reading Krapono, you have believed in the result. I'm telling
attraction
you. Presentation.
The media houses
yes.
Now
no church him. Kwa edwuma me Peter here no obi anyi bi so far.
Dabi.
Obi anyi bi so far.
Dabi.
I will come back to see say circumstances way me say even though 2020 mo to MPP no yen come back yen say in all these years matter be near say trend no.
Senate. And constituency board so used to say how ye NPP stronghold na na ebo abehwe no na eye neutral apai obi a wini me enum
yes
eti based on sa ne man no ka say MPP baby MPP stronghold no ye titi free mu say best 6 constituency enye MPP stronghold so no dey say MPP stronghold na ka say based on that you know final in which means what kind of the report was wrong
and so we opoli in also of 82 conferences now 82 no on my 7 as swing
yes
and on my 37 as stronghold for MPP
yes
if you want who be 6-7 be MPP stronghold
yes
what be NDC for the no ho 38 to come 44
just NDC in
opoli more NDC areas
yes
than NPP. If you come back and say, that's what I'm saying. You're trying to cast on yes, sir.
So, what are we interested in? Get the narrative right.
Right.
Say you wear my and so you need.
And American
public name who say
precisely another Rocano.
Another Rocano, and they have 100%. Yes, that rock a true challenge be. Say, bet me on. Was it what ye train Professor Smart Sapon, an University of Ghana, dear. Yan train on the fan cancer.
In fact, me kind Smart Sapon a bio. Smart Sapon represented the feeling of Ghanaians and Kasa as of the time.
Yes.
Okay. I think it was April, May.
Okay.
At the time, no, the feeling was so correct. Research. There was no one done show. Again, so no, in all the 275 constituencies. When you be in film, go on to you. Smart Sapon or the whole country. 275 or your baby. And the results was correct. Now here, Musa Danko, for example, so far 82 to represent Ghana. And they say Obiba Africa by research. Now for Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin to represent Africa. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Now East Africa for
because exactly almost where. What I say? And say once we go far 82 or so to represent Nipa to represent 275 constituencies. At best you should do all to have a fair idea the equation. And Smart Sapon was correct on that one.
Okay.
But that was in April. I believe that by now, no, things have changed far more. Even them lead Baumia lead at the time. No?
Yeah.
But now, I believe say a quite new for Baumia. It's a paid poster. You're trying to fix that. Or a fixer.
Jefferson Saki Simon can just watch. Also, money of free time, but say Brebemo before. Now, watch out.
Yeah.
But no, you're fire channel. But no,
yeah,
Pools, when research me, election.
MPP phobia, maybe the mechanism. Make catch MPP phobia, say, aha, movement TV. Would be ready, your program too.
Obahayam, your
press or banner.
A mogu cry.
What that one rack.
I can't now me and so say 9 near Betwabe. It been more on by Bepamo.
Oh, that Miss Dobiamra.
No, it been more by Bepamo. It been more on by
Bepamo. You know, be what the mess. That's the break. Come on, say.
Election. Post research how many a juma but a new jumency and 100%. Anna, I feature say for you, America say and Crawford Adamo. Hey, election would you suppose natural be better? Obiwa, no, the number crowd question on I do not done so no crowd, didn't you be an assembly on I can't no corn baby or Paquanco. And so me help poor be. Said ye we are see coin Ghana coin said ye nipa ehunu Dr. Baumia and he said ye nipa hunu John Mahama now ye post or Ghana catch was say post now ye no John Mahama BT Baumia metimi hwe omienu ma uza wunye ndukre ma ho me hu se wanka sa wunye ndukre ma ho so ye sofo na utimi bie wa no ka se nyame aka cho se let you your mama be hwinya ma hu se ye sofo banza pe nyankopon wonta Ghana fo ana abawe wagya ma John Mahama enti na kaba no ye to ne sei se ye po obi obayi o ma ni ye ni ato abama no wo John Mahama ne ye ne kasa ne NDC fo musunu o mo ban na ye pe obi amana bedi ani emfie na edi ani mu ya na Ghana fo se ye de ye jimijimi ye mpempuntuo ye jimijimi ye mpa asomdwe enti no ye pese NDC fo ne John Mahama sa ban yen so bio anya adia eye nokre because sa fit for you say hini for them can say NDC can win but not with Mahama EIU
for the kind
sa bre no ana wi say ye dinner na fe ye twe ho antwa no enom say abawe NDC for betumi awini but omo tena se hunu say John Mahama pa de say Ghana for be sa mo John Mahama sa aba say omo ni Ghana for so de ensi omo hunu ye and the sirina ya wre ho ma NDC for ne say am say Trump awini hwe na Trump bone be no kodi ayi for American for John Mahama bone a wadi o ma we no ye ka se ye ka adaje be boye enti Ghana ni bie ni ho a wadwene o ma we nkan kọ ene nyimpuntuo ho a wakọ akoto aba ma John Mahama gi se wo bia waye na dwen se o ye ne o mo nkomo mu na ye nkope kronu ni bi mo eno no wo de o mo ho na se obi se me ye Ghana ni me ya babunu ma wie school me pemda achi yi ana se me ya bofra afen ma wie senior high school me do some to aba me nya university ameko na da achi ma bra ba yiyie na wo se okoto aba ma John Mahama ensi enti me de post no de emra obi abeka ne de but post no papa no nyina nie enti wo ya MPP ni a de o mu kan nyina no ya na de hye nkwantanso me hye nipa bi nkura mo ye bi but nkranhye ni ahodaso bi ye ni wo se MPP ma no ebe sori no mo kwakoto aba no mayi watimi wakame ene nipa ho abufuo ni nipa ho ahon ya ne nyema keka ho no obi adidi agya me na fi mu because makache mo se enya ye nyina ne benya duane ni bi adi the same time obi bedi bia nopa obi bedi bia wia obi bedi bia nwumire obi bedi ni de kra na adwo desu nti
alright busa for aha eye wuntumi radio 95.9 and amosa hwe ewo movement television so program in the election lens movement election lens na say we screen so a MPP colors na wo so no wo sa hwe me sa enkubu so a wo hwe se de esi ballot paper no we the 10 nipa 13 Dr. Baumia and da number 1 the watiaka no wo do kwa obi akwa omfa ne de enkutim number 1 ye kan a ye Dr. Baumia de wi a na mo maka na yimo de eso de amamo eti eno na ewo so no ya ka cha wo se abato no eye process enye just one day event eti process na bia mu ne na mu sisi ya ye akui ena be bibiri wa anye ni ya ebeduru dano agasa no wa hwe na abitu enti ene obedi nkomo ni a cheche ne ma bibiri ya ma revelations bibiri ene ma ese wuhu asa wa kokoto aba ebi on ese sitin bompen fo kokonso a ebo sa kokolo nyina no na ye di nkomo me no ka say isifo a release the final certified report certified results and I say register almost about enipa 18,772,289 18,772,289 according to CI 91 no modi adwuma no omodi yinoko ba things be 2 days ahead of time enipa no bi this for kasa say was senka omodi details be a summary of the register say member say regional breakdown say kwaku what release the issue
so godon is a register no
yeah
Electoral Commission hu adwuma na according to the CI no Electoral Commission so release register no final register na political parties in 21 days before the election.
Okay.
By Electoral Commission in Bono Homodin so be releasing no earlier than the fixed date war CI anymore.
Yeah.
Now before say register we be banom yema TFO nyina ntia say NDC for ayim there is a report about Bonten. I think Mo Ibrahim report also. Ya can say Ghana for trust in the judiciary no are dropping by 30%. 30 since 2017
to 2020.
since 2017 no to 2020
according to them.
I drop it by Gordon Hill, you know. I drop it by a friend is saying 30%. A calculated attempt and a calculated effort by the NDC. Say omobe branded state institutions be say omo bias towards MPP. Now omuchi omo NDC for. So such institutions no the judiciary, our head the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice. The other institution the Electoral Commission. And omo yes are purposely for two reasons. Say one, Electoral Commission declares MPP a winner. Omba be can say Electoral Commission MPP dampa ba akoso. Ntoma wiema momo. Say omo lose election no 2020 NDC for lose election no. Ghana for can say omo Supreme Court. Omo Supreme Court. Omo Supreme Court. So they couldn't continue with the violence and omo Supreme Court. Omo do ye no. Woman to me have evidence anko. In fact, after that we heard the city ketia.
Yeah.
And okay. So the next thing is say, yan brandy the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice and the judge for holding in say almost ye MPP for. So that ye win election near Cassie and ye lose election near Cassie and Supreme Court will be a better as him. Other than see, Electoral Commission release register. Register no any pay woman ye 18,772,289. 18,772,289. There was a history of register issue. The year 2016, register ne buy no na a 15,712,499. Na a 15,712,499. Na Ghana population then about where 2016.
2016.
Na Ghana population. So register in 2016 no. Na 15,712,499. 15,712,499. That was the total number of registered voters in 2016. So now Ghana population here around 24 million. Some people before we can say population of 24 million there. A band is saying they move 15 million. 8 million registered voters, which is about 55.2%. The register is bloated. And no, ye a trading for fro. You're trading for fro. No, now say in fact a course of crack and the bedu say 2020 register ni per register at about Ghana has say no. 17,027,941. 17,027,941. And only a nipa a tromudin 2020 equatraba. Okshomwa na a grow by 1.3 million. 2024 a year 18,772,289. Na Electoral Commission register na mamo.
Yeah.
NDC for say omo here a page, a cover page a statistics. I bet you say register mamo no. Emu ebia register ni na number is say. Ema e wo mu ye say. Ememe wo mu ye say. Omo edi da mu ye say. Omo a double registration e ba ye say. Transfer ye say. Where ye say. And the Electoral Commission say, oh, okay. You're not mandated by law to give you such information. But my request here, you're the memo. Until mama you break a crane, you can't get money from them. Electoral Commission call the technical room about 6 hours. When to meet and pull data into your catch them will say, Monfa final register them be a womb. Parts in the mamma court transfer from bet me then, and your side data, but more your monk call near Ria. You're the best send them, said you send them email, Nis Animan, and this is for say, Omonye. Until see when you statistics not count their momono, Omonye. And do you know that trick? Or push Electoral Commission to give him any figure. Now, Oria, on what quack demo, no aqua analyze data and Electoral Commission mano, no Ria, or contradict Electoral Commission data on their man earlier. No, I can say Electoral Commission.
Mami read the easy statement now. What they be abroad more releases at voters register no. Where 7th November was the EC releases certified voters registered to political parties. The Electoral Commission on Wednesday, 6th November 2024, provided all registered political parties and independent presidential candidates with the soft copies of the certified voters register in accordance with sub-regulation. The soft copies, which were presented to the political parties on external hard drive, contained 1. The valid voters register, exceptions list, the multiples list, the transferred voters list, the absent voters list, the manual verification list, the proxy voters list, and the special voters list. Proxy we are not question papa din da so ma.
Eguso man ko yi say me dey call Supreme Court ma ko to Saba.
Okay, Mati.
And a lawyer for no eguso anu me di hu nkom.
Okay. You better. Okay. All right. I say at the moment the NDC requested for the summary. So at the meeting, the NDC requested for the summary of the above lists. Although the commission is not required by law to provide statistics of the various lists to parties, in the spirit of responsiveness, it granted the request by the NDC. To enhance transparency and accountability, the EC took the time to generate the summaries requested on regional basis. Realizing that this would take time to generate, the parties requested the EC to send the breakdown to them after waiting patiently. The public should know that since 1992, the Electoral Commission has always provided only the soft copies of the certified voters register to the political parties without the breakdown of statistics requested by the NDC. The Commission also wishes to place on record that, as was promised during the IPAC meeting on 15th of October 2024, the Commission duly delivered on its promise to release the certified voters register within the first week of November 2024. The Commission assures all stakeholders that the certified voters register is robust and credible. We urge the public to support the Commission to deliver free, fair, transparent, and credible elections in December 2024. Thank you, Samotete, Deputy Chairperson, Operations.
So that's the issue. So the issue is say, Electoral Commission say, even though you're mandated by law to give you, but we believe in transparency.
Okay.
Moma yebre, ni generate ni amohwe farmer. You see, go on. Electoral Commission say, adie no, obe generate, but SSA or turn the boase. Now or generated from the constituencies, no, or the bar regions, now or the bar national. And yen himself, Electoral Commission air trade in Ukraine. Now no say the bar Sante Guso have to suppose a map will be aba. Near the region be a number of voters are registered as any so Electoral Commission. I'm the side patch or some map. Oh yeah, I had your tire. But won't me for pressure and so go on here 2020 day name. A Niparanya 18 to 35 years, 2020, normally 9,375,000.
Oh, we from man.
What's it? We are now. Okay. So now on project now, yeah, for and count.
Mame ko big so.
Okay. The big so.
Yeah.
The plans of the NDC.
Yes.
The whole idea is say, Omubema EC, it look funny.
Yes.
And not credible.
Yes.
Said the buyer in Kuku Airbano, almost signed the cocoa to be more. Omotita for almost 6.2 million. So saying 6.7 million. No matter noise.
Oh, Savvy will be for my
no, and one of my share. Frankly, me who didn't see even the EC granted that figures. No.
Okay.
Tio. And I say, I see about 1,000 cities. Go I say about 1,000 cities. Yeah, the man was you. One kind of say 1,000, no. Ebia 15 notes in here, miensa. And at 200, 40. And I say, one city, I say. What I say?
Yeah.
1,000, and the amount one. Go Oko bank,
yeah.
Oko Isika, over 10,000 Ghana, 5,000 Ghana, 1,000 Ghana. Is bank mandated to tell you, say, a futures me, you know, says, yeah, the amount now, okay, case closed. And one, is any money say by force, there's somehow starts. So, why a party of your sort really, I thought Smith now and break all those down. You can find it.
Okay.
I thought to me, yeah. And see, he's in here to respond to that. And I agree with the rule. The whole idea is say, yeah, more pressure in terms of now why a mistake the aba. What the buyer and buy will may a 15,000. I say, what's say 3 million. Kwamodi say you who buy 3.5 million and one of my under noise. Don't pay no. Again, you're quite about what? Go no, you're quite about what? yeah kind ballots na yeah kind of female and male and I say kind of dogs and cats
Enipa.
I just people say no obi anche say paper wey oba na say bema the most important thing is a final figure na team am no and yes kan ya na anambwa so why break down if you're a party with your sort I say we want to say and they will break all these things down it's easy it's not mandated say one year and hwe
Okay.
if you have my example nansan ya easy mom provision of them kan wasemi and it's the same thing akwasa wo hia sekebi godon fancy bia say wo ma many dey row I say wo many enia 1000 cedis na say wo dey share envelope no dey man
Yeah.
what the ma me maybe emu na 1000 Ghana what the way so dey man no dey man obi emu na 1000 Ghana afa dey row ba ya na godon na aren't envelope na say engobi aka nechi no
Na enguna abetiti skala.
thank you when to me anka say sikan swati when to me anka say and this MP for boot akoso bi esen wo dey obibia when to me anka say ada the aka ni en chenchem wo say aren't na say obi the pen trust things bi ewo envelope no ho aren't as envelope as oil bi aye baby fiscal en kasika no wo say when to me improve say there what no so bia no anye e kan sika no you can prove it what I say now so I didn't say what they red pen etwa me din e wo envelope one for blue pen and show and no more I know na ma amko easy ye ipack here in broad daylight o mane bo amago ni ma ase esan say no money nya so bia they had no leg to stand on a basis accusations kono mo ye hono the same thing mo ye CCI easy amount figures are we a party what data analyst kosom you can fetch out nipa mo ye 18 years you can fetch out nipa mo ye 20 years nipa mo ye emba embema ni nia behu you see all in there so what me awo ya anya by force easy ema sanema no
Yeah.
so easy ovoti ema on the aso a case closed and one
Case closed. But me ko that say.
Because that's not we confirming me issue say NDC phone to me collecting resources in this election because every serious political party should be able to do this. Asante Pacho Electoral Commission for produce a map no. Some map was designed and generated by the Electoral Commission. Pacho any where you need Pacho with this on better about Ghana this year. And the Electoral Commission the buy where GH1 for the publish here. In fact credit or market. And you can see say clearly no share so Greater Accra and they were the highest number of registered voters 3.7 million. We Greater Accra Ashanti region 3.6 million. We Ashanti region few honoma. Then I call him I call is it Western region Ibwa? Eastern region 1.8 million.
Yeah.
Then now ba Western region 1.2 million.
Yeah.
Now I call Northern region almost say 1.2 million.
Central region.
In fact,
Central region.
Central first.
Central
Okay.
1.7.
Okay, so Central
Greater Accra, Ashanti,
Eastern, Central,
Western,
and then Northern region, then Volta region, and the total Sukutin Northeast, and they keep the list number of registered voters. So Electoral Commission bears are doing now, but I say as a semi-generating from the constituencies to the regional level to national. Na me de mawa na assembly any ho. Asante for the other Godon cast me farm on Fabra where 2020 breakdown. E nipa na nya 18 to 35. No mo 9 million 375,052. Omo na nya from 36 to 45 years. No mo so 3 million 314,094. And the total so ABC omo year list omo manya age 75 years and above omo so year just 341,000 and we actually it is a breakdown we NNDC bibi say NNDC for so moji but when no we say I say ni party pan say
anything
because you catch them say no problem here we fan koko constituency level the AC district officer omo mo ni nyina ko mo consensus mo nyina Electoral Commission address ni nyina we accumulating yan or ni na register and osadi amount say sai jeko one yen ko hwemu was me per statistics yan fuma me nko e ti say akola open sunu as one me ko to ti amesu as a sooner of so as simple as that go no afo betimi akoti
Mame ko that say bro.
Me nwanwan ni say ebra na ye registration no say na political party bia wo agent our registration centers no
yeah
say NDC for pesa ni man dia yo mu bibia ade no man kan choma agent say woti ho na say oba ba ko me register na what take say oba ba ko register bema ba ko register ntie nkodu anwumere no no hunu ma do register wo ho e mema do register anu ma tumi anya sa ade
ma me kwa homa no so bra eti oba ba ko register
bema
ba ko register o ma me ba ko ba bebre ma ta me kwa homa no so nya me cha de nya Professor Smart Sapon ewo ahoma no so me ni kodi ko sisi a emra wo ye post or research or lecturer prof ye mo aha mo akwa baba movement election lines so
ni a mejo so wie
Fran ba ho te sen yo
ajana dom ye ho ye pa me gidi se mo so mo ho ye
ye ho ye ba te se daru se me ka se watu ajejem ye nyaw
oh mo fa ncha me na chinchini yami adom next week me be fie
yeah that's good to hear na prof ba so da be na wo latest yi neighbor wo post da ba e china
me pa so da bi ye hwe yami adom next week but we are sana there be ho no mo a be say repeated surveys be ni niam bi ho just to strike the difference nti ni nyina no adom dum ye be wie yami adom akwasi ada nti in the course of next week I'll organize a report and share it with the public Mother Roma
o ka se ko ye repeated survey e dey bed na be ma obi akoye repeated survey as a researcher
oh say me were indicators are made assess sincerity levels and sabio ipa jene say too much sa net TV our ni bra no emi aso na change wani bra no emi aso na change there bi enti say me koye hwehwemu o baby na say response no my assessment of sincerity a failure me find the general analysis na ho me ye film no messiah revisitation eco validate sa first data no na team 1 team 2 in anya similar results they are not just internally there's some consistency in Tibia na ye intervention bi ade bi na si e my ho de no ye deviative aye so aba kwasi ada otuna chi na just I will strike the difference between the first one and then the second one. Near share said the now and widespread and yes I have to do the whole Ghana again. Out of 276, I think just about 15 then I call it for revisit. Central region Bako, Greater Accra, me fan sebe me and say 9 na that them Bako across the country east. Boga Central, Boku Central, Bako, and they say that them across the country. May revalidation so that I can strike the difference.
And whether prof, and you say be a me picture against other posters or whatever, but you perceive you dear fat polling ho. Enrich here America for to obey. Fitch solutions for edis Ibia Babant, almost say patron with on Dodgers, me reading what now my opinion on was saying. Voters have become sophisticated. We didn't get the right opinion of the people for our polls. We Fitch solutions for our more predict say Harris ebe winning and the moment Biden Harris and winning. I'm a Trump a winning. Now my explanation of the Biden was say voters have become sophisticated. We didn't get the right opinion of the people for our polls. But as a researcher, what are you saying?
Well, the American say eventually possible say a very new pool eventually I may say the mark and I say this is as one and Casabeba no na any genuine pool no ebra eventually abanesa. But then employ the brain also no nipa no a anase nipa adwumakuo no a hwehwemu no so omu ani bi a na ho okay anase omu interest bi a play a role in the study they are doing nyamianim ni se wo ya de na hwe eni ha one kasa researcher no obey carried away by the physical or the public appearance. A more typical example of Ghana, na me ti me baby na me so Ashanti region the higher na me wo and na regional elections no so take a lot of interesting form Ashanti region so be kai the last regional elections
Ameka chema wuntimi ni ekoka
chema wuntimi ni nua ode ne ho sama no de no kwekwa apia de no. It was an interesting one because na me sha there is this general suggestion say and the general election kwa de ato awie ma obako awie ni awie na me ho na research for yi bia madaro be ya de betu mu say and the side that chema wuntimi alusu like with a landslide victory. I was like, oh, I thought there'd be a general winning so that any form in Nepal. Let me take a quick run through after Ashanti region, 47 constituencies. Let me try and do one or two research and see. Surprisingly, I found Chamawun to be winning by 57.8%. And me yes, okay, fine, but maybe find some home. But never me deba out near another research team or no so that kind of no there. I can't necessarily kodo Tony Adia to say there's a lesson called the train of school. But my studies have been done with the right people, right design, the right methodology, the right sample. So why am I keeping mind? Let me meet the press and announce. And let me share press no and I may announce so yeah. Yeah, two abanimie no. Exactly my prediction was the case. And about the saying that research no akaniti, they were carried away by the general or the public apparel. And number two, so no, because we cannot do for every voter. Ghana there were 18 million voters now plus. Untimin yes, baby, 18 million in Nani Makasa. And usually we draw a sample. Now, mistake a polling a for baby, especially Ghana higher the be mehubi. The social monster who be. But could be out of curiosity into me pulling the whole report. I was surprised. Say, number one, Obi draw conclusions based on the sample. Apart from the weaknesses in the sample, conclusions are not drawn based on samples. This is very fundamental statistical law. Person will draw conclusions. In fact, yeah, the samples and the draw conclusions, but you draw conclusions not on sample. I hope I'm not confusing anybody.
Me okay. But just watching.
I mean, the general population is there. You have Ghana and 100. And the echo to about the many 100 Mukasa. I can no. And one say, me say when the baby winning with this because we be a sort of about the Kasa. But when you no Kasa now you sample. Apart from the fact that Ghana has samples of who be a very weak and unfortunate they end up drawing the conclusion still on the sample. And the thing I draw out of all those ones is that the fundamental mistake they are doing is apart from the sample.
Prof, I talk about sample size. To say be a CDD4 almost for the past 10 years. CDD4 you sue is 1,300 sample size as I say. Bibisa, yeah, now what can one nana?
To make a sample no. That is a marker size any technique in album.
Okay.
But whether the technique or the size, the results that you get should not form the basis for your conclusions. Fundamental law. Advanced statistical techniques and also inferential statistical techniques to be supporting the data you have so that you subject your data not to those techniques and then based on that do inference, statistical inference. No, what free the general descriptive statistics, no now call inferential statistics. And based on the
analytics, analytics, no.
Analytics, tables and graphs. Analytics, so baby, it's a table. They are simplified the entire number in a very simple form. It's analytics simple means tables and graphs. But statistical techniques, statistics no define here. You say it is the process of collecting data, analyzing the data, and then bringing out information. I am talking about the analysis. It is the information that can be put in analytics. They say, it's the same information, nobody better tables, so no, they have to nice graphs, visual, and then. But analysis, no, drawing meaning out of the data, no, and then say, I'm for the lose. And the kind more be a sample. That sample near weak, say yes strong. Now, make sure weak and strong in Sumu. Number one, say, a sample be a weaker, just and satisfy the minimum sample size. Just a sample near weak. And number two, say, a robust, just a representative enough. Sample size, none many about could share with TV, so and commodities about app. And another say, a woman sample, as it say, yikakra, if you don't like a family, yikakra, dear. But I hear a SOU, it has, and the sample size, the population size gives you an indication of the sample size. Nipa me 1,000 uyimu 500 and also 300 a year. Nipa me call my name 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million. No, who's the name cost 500? No, until you increase the sample size in accordance with the population increase. And I'm saying that there is a minimum sample requirement for a given population size. Because we baby ma. Obi enemy GH say I prof bibi say be any sample the no one say nipa dom ne say where you move down there. I disagree as a professor of statistics. I disagree with whoever thinks that.
I even think say beside the sample size no krampo no baby wo yi o mafri no ye no so krampo san important critical and am beboa
very very critical. Just something nankasa dey home say. It means that people should take their time and understand the concept of sampling, because population interview, and we will definitely do some level of sampling. But people should bear in mind that the process of selecting a sample is a complex one. It's not as simple as for and the minimum requirements required for a population like what we have. 17 million to 18 million voters, no. Media may cover what video should say. About a population of a size 17 million to 8 million that we have, we have, no. And you say where sample size, no, when your sample size of 16,500, and they could 17,000 nominally a day. And no, because I mean, we were just on interview. If he was my student in a PhD class, statistics PhD class, I would have proved to him or given it to him as an assignment to go and investigate why, if a population size is 10, the sample size, minimum sample size required should be that which I said. And so, a collective is on common, but may come a few days to say, so what sample size, or population be at sending away 17 million to 8 million now. Obi a person or elections research piano. 20 million sample size crano. Na 16,500. It will be a baseline survey. I'm a debano. Now me was sample size of 60,000. 60,000 instead of 16,000 minimum. No, I was using a sample size of 60,000. And do you know why? The reason is that so a minimum sample size in Nuria. Statistical laws if you can increase the sample size, continue to increase it, because the larger the sample size above the minimum sample size, the more your data begins to behave like the population. Now I have a sample of maybe 7,000. Now me report here next week and may was sample size of 100,000 unless there is some biases. But say genuine, if I say the end genuine, genuine. The mere fact that I have more sample size, makes my results more stable than the results. So then I'm not going
to class my pajamas
question time. Question time.
Me contribution.
You
what studio I say no more. Yeah. me wa ha da sebre wa ha woten bagels wa ha se no mo faka wa se no mo na dawru enso wa ha wo ba na wo se wo pe aduane a ye pepa na enipa say you think say one a fair representation na wo hia da sebre jedwamna obeka konkonti na mom no wo hia enipa mienu a da sebre beka konkonti ba ko so beka fufuo na je sa apai wo hia enipa miensa out of 6 e wa say no ma mienu beka fufuo ama ba ko pe ele beka konkonti na che say the wo kam no ya adwo bi kam no ya adwo in total said the larger your sample size the fairer the representation becomes. And I'm
yes, absolutely. Yes, no. The law of statistical regularity. Now can't see here, you know. Yes, the law of statistical regularity. The law of statistical regularity is say sample size is here. Ubetimenya the minimum, but unya the minimum the larger the sample size. In fact, the more you increase the sample size, the more your sample begins to behave like the population. And the larger, the better. Sir, Lord, no,
all right. Yeah, and nyame aduma next week no ye behwe wanim say resource no beba and so we best studio na need the rubber betase na ye dinko but we last report about bonte no na it say just a second bi na if I ever refresh your mind.
Well, now a baseline survey. Now me try SMECO all the 276 constituencies in them. Now it wasn't predictive. I know the nature and the form here before I'm pending for no maybe few more campaigns I can say nothing. Now it was somewhere in May. Now in terms of party popularity, no. Now in this year when you go near popular. Emma Omo Kano was no kakra. In terms of presidential candidates in the year. Not the presidential candidate of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, more popular and preferred. We use the word preference. Esne, the presidential candidate of the NDC, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. Now, at Nigeria, say, are there in terms of a form organization, not NDC party, no, popular, name one preferred candidate there, and yeah, like they were expecting direct. Correspondence said but my defense was that Ghana Matwa Nankasa Anka presidential candidate of the MPP ain't me winning 19 constituencies for Central Region. Emma party no ain't winning only 10 seats in Central Region. Now at the same time, but the parties they need careful. Now for no Obunya campaign both for presidential and parliamentary because it happens from one constituency to the other. Say either the president is more preferred than the party candidate at the constituency, or the party candidate is more preferred than the presidential candidate at the constituency. Now, remember examples of constituencies and their levels of preference in all the 276 constituencies that we have in Ghana. But Yami Adom, that's the end line survey in the bar. Me sure see benya kwai bebe na ye ho nkomodien manakoso but anope awie ni aya me de any the conversation of sample na lokra ni ntimi anka akwachi because anka memo example of obi reporter me hu ye na o say ahafo party ba ko be wini e fan de bia 60% vote me kokoshe mu no na instead of 6 constituencies Sutifi South and Sunafo South. Now my question is, Anya Hekrano, and can be mindful of the historic distribution of the political parties in the constituencies. Nanka, your representation is fairly.
What's that? I think Cathy man, say what I say. What's so big? I say, Sunafo, and I say,
aha, let me say, oh, yes, sample or baby to say, for regional. Report number say party back ubedin kunim. And so we share the methodology ni mu ankasa na osample Sutifi South and Sunafo South. It ab issue no ankasa no. One take care of representation because for your belebia MPP wo mu ennan and NDC wo mu mienu parliamentary. And so nobody presidential nimpo MPP wo mu enum 5 out of 6. But you carefully select 2 constituencies currently in the hands of one political, and then you draw your conclusions based on that. For me, a statistical abuse and as a research abuse. You are not being fair to the concept of sampling. You are not being fair to the concept of representation. So, it will never be a Bema fit solution. And lose in the poll prediction. And now, Bema will be prediction. I am very, very deceptive. I don't remember a lot of incline. I mean, and your prediction will be winning a region who are say me do. I am a professor of statistics. Since I said, we want to use the numbers to rig the election. The numbers are not reflecting the reality, but we have cameras, we have TV, and we throw it out almost every day. Sampling by a research by any daily and now weekly. Human minds are not like that. Human minds changes over a long period of time. Human minds, and it's a week. Human minds, and it's a day. We are abusing about the census, for example, you end it every 10 years. And now every 5 years. An important exercise like census. Ask yourself, why is it that any census we hear every month? What is this? So, as a professor of statistics, who says who will win or who says who will not win? I know the agrony form. Send the year say, will be a campaign. Yes, if you are agrony form, mobile research in the mommy and ye, then yes, we want to use the numbers to rig the election or diffuse the minds of the people or confuse the people. And that's to the reason why there is something called research. We want to use research as robbery source to rob the people's mind or confuse the people or something.
It's a movement stronger than a
Professor Smart Sapon, senior lecturer, senior research fellow, Kumasi Technical University. And then we say, watch your idea, partner, but what you me say, law of statistical regularity. Yea, Nika Dean, and Nika Swed.
The rope paper, Lord. No. In fact, if you are there, send a law, and that's why, it's from Manka.
It's Yami back with the version next week, you know, what by studio in Ababedi and Commodiation at the that's a power once again.
Yes, Miss Mitchell was for
So I was for Professor Smart Sapon was a senior research fellow, Kumasi Technical University. In fact, man kind of Karameboa. I have enjoyed the conversation.
Me catch you say
Doc can say by Sunday. Now, Benty from next Friday, Saturday to was it by Sunday? No, maybe we be intimacy from up to Sunday. No, baby, or baby, on oh, hear me, pa, oh, hear me. Oh, be anti me, but a crom for a room.
Oh, me can say,
maybe will be me
can say, Quenya for so. No one say, would do for so no. So, if you are when you are
more,
me catch you say, Professor Masapon, Omo Kasa. Look, or Kasa. Yes, or Kasa. When you're kind, no, yeah, procurement for Quebec say a bid rigging.
Bed rigging.
Yes, no more yen. And no be na Musa dan kwano mo yen. Ogo some rigging. Can be. Ogo rigging the election with figures now move through about no just to pollute and crowdfunding. But then you hear that professors must say you be train no dey about me say me train omo dey.
Yeah.
And University of Ghana for dey. Then at least a bit me fair idea of baby election echo. Na Musa dan kwano mo dey ajana 1 ajana 2.
Na say doc say research when ye na week. I saw the cry. Yeah, Pentecost for cry. Sorry, say so for preach actually and for beer, Sabia Grandma. What the Bible swimming and Sansana may muano, etimi, Asham who from. What I said, they are when you're your mamma and shut down. Yes,
because it was my number. I read where some yes, Mr.
Unclear now, I said, Dana,
me send you a picture be. Newspaper ABC front page. Now, one shadi. Ray, a year, what the date?
Yes,
date
Friday 27th May, 2022.
Yes. Now, Friday 27th May 2022, ABC, and Penhubica Boom, Equia Research Kakra. Yanonanko for Jiri say, a bronze belusu. Jeff Kuledu Adubelusu na Chema Wuntumi Ebelusu na Professor Esibu so na da honom no according to ABC research na ye no ehu se Chema Wuntumi be wini Abronye be wini Jeff Kuledu Adu be wini na Professor Esibu also he was supposed to win in Central Region. In fact, I didn't be ye attacks and bombs you have no idea. Na ye wie no ye mu miensa abonye wini Jeff Kuledu Adu yeah da bram wo man
minim
yes yet me ye wie na be bae na Professor Esibu de na ama so no obi anum ne ma e course on the day of election ye wie no do wini ho no e ko kumi
na nyame nhira ho so say nyame nhira ho so say what me pull out of this picture because of credibility sake.
Oh yes.
And this is here ati ne ma bia.
Afa what ne ma bia.
Yes.
Right.
Ma me wi ade bi.
Yes.
Dawura asem kan no. Mesrese. Empanimfo mfo mani ni akire papa. He said yentwen Dr. Smart Sapon ene University of Ghana for research no. Ya kan ni say on say your friend doctor akire nsemu. Ye nyina ye ni ajewa na ode ma begos mwie na okoba emi wo kakra bi kan na aja me nkoye mo adwuma no ma
kwaku ye nkoye
boro Prof Masapon akasa amehu se oye real academician wo kai se me explain niam about Musa Dankwa no me ka cho se Prof Masapon eye bi somewhere in April May niam oye ne se it was very very credible me kan bi me kan research na it was very credible me kan hand me say hwe okay a few things. Because say won't me embassy research ewa Africa umbefa Ghana, Benin, Togo say we represent Africa. Smart Sapon goes everywhere. And you cover all 275 continents in your cover. Again, okay say time now way FN say regional you know elections no. Okay all 47 constituencies of Ashanti region. Yeah. Won't me cover by 6 billion chembi enfemba ye. What by be good mass. And I hope so research crowd even in the constituency crowd na. There are some polling stations that call them crowd but you'll be stronghold. Yeah. I'll call home kwa ya be good mass.
I said what come back.
Yes. What I say? And say onim no ye. And I follow the methods no so. About the sample size a calculation no. Eye bosim nka. Yeah bi. O be first me hwe me hwe ala Jonas me hwe a new time me be mo ye be 50,000. We don't go no. Ye mfa be 20,000 fanye. Ye mfa be 3,000 fanye.
No mo call parliamentary primary. Na I can't remember say me here Ghana ntina candidate ba ko wura ha oye ya no oye was here friend adan ya senior and no call rally ni pe die kire nam so no boy form this o si ma wi ni awi eba no oda ti say na nu bu afu say ya wi an ntin ko no so nya independent ni bia ngo be ko nam se krache e di independent wadi ni padodo achi nti ufi say wa wi ni awi e bi na wo kan you see enti ono ko nya nipa ba miensa obi a mefa nse ayi ofun ase ayire bi na bi a won namwa no akọ ayi bonwire sebe ayi nsadwa ase nkrofo kakra teto o ya wi ni awie no akọ okre
Electoral Commission elusu do me kwa benya with 52,000
52,000
so Electoral Commission ebodwa e wo do me market ne na onya nipa 10,000 be gina ho a obefo se
wa wini
meanwhile nipa kro nya ya o de wini ya 52,000
yes
52,000
o just adwa
and me can
yes
52,000 ba o lusu ye
yes
nje na odu do me market and do me park bi so na obodwa ne nipa 10,000 be sia na what you say
what do me abenya no
yes enuru wo dia
52 no obenya
Obetnya 10,000
but what we say sorry we
okay into that make about sample size na a responsible can answer sample size say wo fa nipa kakri nipa bi na wo dia ya a calculation no one send them boot team enfanye make us say no back no release here no 60,000 people out of 275 constituencies Musa Dankwa 82 constituencies you need about 6,000
stronger than appetite
60,000 senior Rwanda for your way ye ni agi analysis ni afre papa we pegbu no mo ka Martin we mo ka oh abana de se yeto ne na ba omia kura enya 43% mpo no mani agi but yes penifo bi say Dr. Smart
if you play propaganda with election research the results will expose you. It's as simple as that. Okay. Say sample as a calculation. Oh,
yeah.
One boat team say, oh, you have 20 min fanya. A calculation, and you what the minimum can use. Okay, your minimum what may use, and you can add more based on some, some theorems. What does it? And see, follow idea. Yeah, you research for many years. It works. It works. It's as simple as that.
All right. I think say no na ma asofo ni bi nso no. Once na Jordan no ball wo fe team. Wadamfu yi. What when him so akọ and the dosi akọ interview say nyame Tristan na no. O mi video no. What we nya no correct. I don't know say if you play propaganda with a friend say the gift of prophecy. Nyame
elections also expose you.
Wotimi America de no. We nya no correct.
That's the break.
Nyame Tristan no.
Video no me be ma.
That is nyame dada ni pa o.
Was nyame amane.
Nyame no a wono aka smacho section nkrofo no. Owi anu asa akọ Tristan wa no. Godo.
Minua.
So the other will can say Nijaba. And then Nijaba said Professor Sapon say MVP winning election no.
Okay.
But what church remember who said the post are credible. Eti. And you say to Hona say obi ko to be to abonten na mo frey yam hihye ani o yes say ya mama mo yam hihye mo enya de say o ma yam hye wabato wi hwe abana ye to no physically spiritually Dr. Baumia be winning because onyame dogana pa na de esi nyina ye niema bia nyame ema niema de diama Ghana fo hunu de sese ye e wa fia bato wi mu the yakos of parliament nyina no yen senkyereni bi anyame da ne dia kyerɛ yen se Ghana fo da bia ye to aba party obewi ni no onya majority no timi ebu man no ye koto aba to hwɛ e bia no so bebo o man no but nyankopɔ ma Ghana fo hunu se emwa Ghana da enti wo koto aba enye wadwe so me to ma presidential candidate na me to ma parliamentary candidate fufuro and pay him said there will no be twitwin komo Chemama from our can say MPP ba power woman the timbu mani ye with majority in parliament mampani ko fonya majority first term second term ni nyina ko yie nana dunya majority first term ni ma ko yie second term a e pa ye no ye hunu ne ye ko nyese wo mu mani ye o nanso die ye be ye ma o ma na ko nani mu no na Farisifo no enso se wo monte asem yenye good na Farisifo nso me yenya de no ma nye yie enti afi sa wo koto wa ba wo de MP no parliamentary candidate no wajo ge kura no a ana wo yiri mpo a afi aba ye wo nananom ene Ghana daachi ho na fa no to ntwen na wo de to aba no wie ye wie a maka se there were reconciliation bi be ya MPP for more reconciliation bi be ya monto aba we nwie no ma ye more reconciliation no ye via no matena se de obi etia obi na so bi ya no afei ma ye ho adi enti momfa obi a boni nche no na monkoto aba no e ma ba omia e ma parliamentary candidate as simple as that MPP for nyina say they will say the ocean MPP for bi be ka say nkoto because MPP for nyakoma pa koto aba NDC for nye de bi o mo pe na sa voter register no hon sensemi go na me di me ya me hu say this for no munye serious e wo Ghana ha ya abrabo aye bonum o munye serious kra wo koto aba enipa 100,000 na koto aba no Electoral Commission no e di abro so nipa ko koto aba no e 100,000 gia was there bi na je say o ka say emema say emaye say nkwara ye say woni e pe fufuo ye say woni e pe abete ye say we nyansa be ni wum nyansa wo mu ni say because etu aba ni wi a ye kinkanya ye nkai man de nko enkai mema de nko eno aka say o na ma eye 10,000 ye koto aba wi ya mo say ma 11,000 ti mo awiem nyansa wo di mani say
right abusa for aha eye election lens movement TV so and I will share that we say wo Wuntumi radio 95.9 if I'm God na sabidi akomani nuanum 9 and it is ma yedi nkumo kwakuderu kwakubegels kwasi na Mr. Otin and then of course the seer former president the future Dasibre Ejidwamena e was say na menko YouTube na menko share pedophobic so mo share wo YouTube no ye chamu nyina ma mo hwe Facebook so ye chamu nyina na na sewa Evelyn also was share from Croydon was say good afternoon I'm watching from Croydon Davis Doris Obubi also share what share ma Doris no oh okay ma Doris that be the birthday no
ma Doris or the Nkraba or say Mama Yuko
that be the birthday
no enti mu wi a mu hume o se mu wi a mu hume
birthday na ma Doris ni birthday ni
ya di birthday no down
no ya di ma Doris
birthday ma Doris birthday no ehu ni ehu sen busa pie mo ti adwam
was so was ehu no
na evangelist engineer Jonas Ajuman
no so hwe
so ohwe the Gambia
na le tambra mbakwa adwuma
nwa ami ebe me yim grofo bio
and you know was it obi said erudite a fisherman was say the quality of the sample is crucial to the outcomes I send the message I research be so I send the message be how much I say or more enjoy conversation the pabi so much add same message na yeso na say no can be atatu na be atatu I was for aka 10 minutes na chese time no as me adma next week yeah the new WhatsApp number ebetu dwa say you no na mo be send messages e dey atoso e no ye movement election lines WhatsApp message WhatsApp line e dey tudwa tibe bia no say video bi ne ye ka ho asema straight away to ma send dey atoso wo data bia obetimi dey atoso na bia ma Monday e bo boss new WhatsApp number no say dey be ye adwuma die ka say adwuma die no enye ko na ye munti ene ye no na ejidi se nipa bebre so abonte a o ma che research o ma che nema a che political science communication marketing branding ne de manyina no intine enu nyina ebedi eho enkomo ye ko me ko round obi am fa 2 minutes na for 2 minutes
ope da fanchesa dia tin okasa
2 minutes ya
ya bedasi obetima so
tiawa voter register no on say NDC ankasa no senior omo sha ase attack electoral commission bra MPP ewa abemu commission bi anache hwe 2004 yomu ye the same thing 2008 na mampani kofo did the same thing 2020 the same thing na uhwe 2016 aba ekoto ye na so nim say up to date for some of ntimi release NDC figures ma o
dabi
2020 the Saturday you know director of elections mom every free ankra up to date eno ho anim guase na ese edun ketia kwotena say so muji wakrante na omukọ kan ya wenti minti no the AC ni enya nwanwa NDC track record nti the hia no say electoral commission be focus first MPP so as a political party be focus na afei omatimi aye adwuma no na nkudimdie no atimi aba senior dem di twato no ne say e de na ma ye kase obi ye post enyina so be na obi gina ode ye enyina ya sentenam ye fi say aban we ba ye no e ba educational sector wa ya ade nti so ko mikro ma fi jaso ko busa say oh enwuma sua fam wa ha no say na aban modern mo ya ade enipa be 100 na enya wo mo emu be 80 say aban na ya ade wa tworo wo de ato ho wa kwa ha other sector no wa ye but say wo tena se ka say oh me konya nipa 80 wa afijase but me susu se me di 20 no kura beka ho a on beka se nwuma sua na ye nti no e kire empempenso a wo yesa o credibility no na eye yi kakra nti yesre wo de post ni nyina se de of adase braka no 7 December ene e behu se post papa no ye nim se doctors masapon mo ye credible nti omo de no omo ka nukure wum na ye nyina e bekwa akoto aba na meme de minim se de etie bia Dr. Mamudu Bawumia obedi nkunum nti adwumaden e na wo ye MPP ni a se wo ka campaign team ho nka ho obi anya campaign your friend is saying wo de wo betimi from campaign manager campaign whatever ye nya adwuma na free senior high school no ento aso senior e free last week e bepem ne ye kan kola akọ senior high school na nya sam keto enura me wo Ministry of Education pani bi say oh there be say me nkansa me kama asem sa na me kope nsomati pani bi ba ha wo say ne baba yo abako no nkese nko form 3 or form 2 amana jompo akọ chiro akola ni nya 12 wanya school back wɔ central region ɛna yɛ ebusan sɛ papa de wɔ se said the name from Mumcroft Kano, Sebia Kobase, unlikely event. A Kobase Papa ba kui massa, Yame Manema, a Kobase and this for ba, or Susu Sebi Umbechem. Nti woman ba etimia enjoy free senior high school bi esanso ono so abre asema papa no kan nti yesre Ghana ni bia we MPP ni bia no ye adwuma ne nyame ya adom a hwebe mimenda ebe ni na wo mimenda ebe na ne bosumi ni na otwe miensa ne ekoto aba akwanhwefo nyina nso age atum so ombeto aba nti ye da se nti senior de metimi de ato na me koi wonim se me nananom ya o se no ama mbi ka kyerem so yempe mfoni no nti misra wo kwa akoto aba abato na kwa akoto no yempe se obeto aba na se no enu nti kwa Dr. Baumiada number 1 wodo nse si number 1 no so se ya me pacho ubenya tissue ana rag bia yisi yibeto pepa wonsa ukokromuti no o pepa wonsa na afi wabuka wa yinim se kama na wo de akwa akotum the same thing na wo kwa na se woto ne se ya me pacho mfa nkotum kwaji pipa foforo but aba no Ghana fo nyina ye koto number 1 pe number 2 number 3 number 4 enka ho woto number 1 wi akọ wo ya NDC ni abeto 1 wo ya MPP ni abeto 1 ye nyina ye to 1 ni wi a wo de kofie se wo fi se number 1 wo to ama asomasi ya ye wi ebe yiwo de ama nti sa na asem ne tie ya me nhira obi bia
Minister of Education, Deputy Minister of Education. Say someone for official figures mra almost someone from so at least we have been able to gather some information.
Minister of Education
Everybody akakola bia betua for to get into senior school. Like admission fee by na 3,000 Ghana cedis. Boarding fee by 4,050 Ghana cedis. Uniform 450 Ghana cedis. Utility 150 Ghana cedis. Tuition fee 1,500. Maintenance fee 500. Furniture 200. Books 2,400. Examination fee 1,200. Na sanitary sa more bonus and man so be 100. Na PE kits tons be 300 Ghana cedis. Nti anka wofu bia betua 18,850 Ghana cedis. In addition to enema wototo na wusu no. Chop boss we awusu no. Anka anya hwe no obetua official one ebewo paper so abetua no be 18,850 Ghana cedis, which is 185 million old cities.
Paku me da se me wo esedun ketia voice bi wa mbese me bo.
First is man.
O say o da bi me bo bia na mu da conclude. Why tika.
Ano na ye collation ni system a de ba say a robot and strong fire collation. You collate 5 regions now or say a crashing. And until now, cry or honor. And until now, young resource no at the right time say that the best challenge the track. Until you say, oh, share. Region to region, ayina ya sofi no ya win kura akufo ado win first round the worst case scenario cry cause second round and so kata wo here on the back akoche nti ya say e court na ya say ne ya nye manual collation ya so ni pa nkojeje ayi pension simra ne family Anna, Chairman San Cotton Committee no so I collation so no an collation. Now Mutio to Okofa University 4B number 10 so da time so say me ko jina da kabo. Mon fa results from rana men fankwa. Results are on the man. They say udi jina da kamba bia say udi defend ya won be guase. In Sugana, a month for me say hwɛ yɛ penipa a wɔnim deɛ wɔ electoral processes no ma ni first ya medi second sure ko gyina daka mu na me ko defend figures bi a enye defensible deɛ me mfa saa ne ngwase no nkoso a ɛno nti yɛntimi mfa saa ne ma no nkɔkɔt ɛna ɔmo sɛ ne yɛnkɔ lawyer chikata hɔ ɛna ɛso a saa documents ne ɛyɛ wɛnum yɛ asɛm a nka ɛsɛ sɛ yɛkeka ho asɛm pɔ bi ɛsan de kɔɔ lawyer chikata hɔ yɛkɔ gyae ma no ɔno nso wiwie mu a adeɛ kye ɔfrɛ yɛ ɔse mommagye mama so mogye wakranteɛ saa nneɛma deɛ sɛ no na mode kɔkɔɔto deɛ a monkɔpɛ mo lɔya.
All right, abusafo nti tape ya boy I think yenye hu bibi na kwaku yamfama zante na ya beta bun TV so abo muso atie ese ye ni video e ma no muso etimi ebutie ese din ketia e bra wo peso ye na sache ma no okọ NDC fo mpanifo ho ena wo ye obon to an wo say adekoto peso be chairman say 2 elections NDC fo ntimi ankole chomo resource na chairman fo so ampofo Watama hama papa enti omo start to say collation omo quality be 3 regions and omo system no crash 2020 elections as no work you crash ye enu nti omo ntimi an quality resource enti bra ye to abani wie ya omo ye de na gara focus ha omo fa court no anu se ala fe omo ebe court enti afi no mo sman kofo call round say collation center say asanwene so police station mo fa mo de mbra tuntumba mo fa mo de mbra oso mo kwaje gie ya eso mo antima nya ni de wudi ko ba bi enye no mo sa de ye fa nko lawyer chachuchi kata ho mo le ko so ekoma no chikata hu no se bola goods be ni we na mo de ko court na me ntimi nko ese din ketase ye no nti na mo ko court na ye busa figures a o se afa ma ha busa figures a afa wa just mo ko court no na ese de ketane mu say they had no basis no money case eso o mo de ko enai Electoral Commission the register ni nyina ama mo say monye obi agibi mo amukwa mo analysis so mo se chenchi na ye hia summary anye saade a students amukwa class a o mo se wa ma tips questions na yentimi be fail exams ni ibini because ye pon
agoro and what's man waka no the NDC omunye credible wo ni plan free ni ho omutunya of Ghana fo na mpacho Ghana fa mo tie yen bebia wo bia no ebehia pa se abana se wo to abana wo betoma ba womia wo to mano a santoma number 1 parliament men ko skirt and blouse men sure there will be skirt and blouse se wo ma ba womia tumi to watwa mano na wo de ukotoma obi onye MPP ni a wo de tumi ma ba womia wasan de tumi ba ko amobi fufo na a cancel no a cancel no ebi hu susaso ni hu parliament yi obi aye no ho bosom at parliament ende amanfo sika so monsa kan ba December friends workers sika say ba December yi omo say omo nemba enti be hia pa say wo to abana say wo yete say obetuma ba omia wo tuma no wi a ko number 1 parliament ko tuma no MPP na na wi ya tumi na president and Nigerian po ebeto parliament so person me ABC a also show us president mafua also and yes sir o ko ma obi onye MPP a ba me de Nigerian po eco parliament a o mo se nipa won say men pele so da o man nko so da ska and blouse ebo man obi anyi bi
all right Mate because na den de ban dero yes sorry so
no said ya ye ne de ye de besi ha sei na etiefo ekoto aba odon omum bi omani look emo bi e na ada o odon omani mu aya edin no ye feel o because baby etie krofofo say ye no ye ne ba omnya ne da sori o obi fo say che ma wontumi sika no nyina o de amaye nti o na hofo pesika no mafrɛ abusuafo pesika ne ya frɛ wo ha mewie show ne yese dawro papa bi hwehwɛ wase o mekɔ no party ni ne waba o se me ko party headquarters me nyobia na me se me ba be kama asmacho o kasa nyina wi o se me ba me ba obi se na de ba nti se wo obi o ni bi o se wo su tua na o ye iti ya feel hit ni pa by see say odi eniema na na kufa ne ba o mi aben e dia ben e de toto dwomama ho a look ene enipa do sen ni benya 18,500 e dia mom Marco secondary school enti won to ne ma nyina ka wi no na o be 25,000 asena o bet me akọ school that is 250 million old cities mesi ni makola bi wo mi free education no troubles kakra ne makakra akra o be 20 me akọ school
Madina enclave ho
troubles kakra ne ma na be 20 me akọ school and you can imagine say I will follow saying the bit me coffee under this economic so-called hardship now abewi asin nyina no enya 25,000 eji akọ secondary school nso akufu ada dawrumenti odi aba wasan ne say na me ensa akola nti akola no oba na okura togas so nim togas aha sa togas kura no wa na so no beba monye no mesua de because am a beauty contest or besua homa no sua bi no ko at least termination points for all students should be SHS level.
All right, so at this point, termination point, you drew it. Yes, I'm sorry. So now, all right, I was for say a quan was said the compa Abu Boanoa and a Kone could drew movement election lens. No, ye be pa and that virtual like an academic exercise, but maybe this in our mat said the situation is it here, but post be in whole ma a credible on the election day. Si abonten na kwato aba si abonten me obi ade me hunahuna si abonten na kwato aba okwa 1 odi sisi pe wawie na akọ ba bi ye kan na kodu gari ebo be 5:30 holma mo ebe kenkana lwasa aba na ba behwe bi
na engineer Jonas Adjuman ebisa say Ghana Freedom Party gusu wo race ni man na what will happen is say official communication from Electoral Commission.
Yes,
because all the forms ni kra kwa Electoral Commission vetting form no na obeka che say what meet requirement ni nti wagya tum and onyin tum so Electoral Commission en communicating to Ghana for whether or not owumu anase oni say owumu dia then implication is say ballot papers are printing nyina no say e chi nyina na e san start printing for from
and wonimu kwa so e be start
printing well onimu a
it wodima
I don't know
no I didn't e be print for
from
okay say assume someone principle na old ones na well idea some print one principle na old ones na obi atoma na amonkan
Outuma na invalid vote.
Yeah, but say assembly elections in the ABC to the sense say the Bakoro free just I think 2 days before you know. Winning.
We yeah. Na okoboa microphone no nya.
Ese nsuo le ku.
E no to masa man.
And some man winning yo. And some man winning here. So to prevent that no so the team say this adia.
I can say make can just also show.
I can. You Martin phone na ya basa no. All right, team Makacha we say ekwan was said they go ba aboboa no ekọ twene movement election lens no. Ye biemu ka ya. Nyame aduma kwesi da Professor Smartsa Ponce ne de ebe ready. Now next week obeba ne na trase na yedi enkomo kama credible post no eba meda perform obejo ni nyina as Mr. Santo of course Kwame Jesse Fakao ye da se general manager Krezo Kweku also ye da se pa chama wuntumi hwe ede chama wuntumi na send me easy it is a man executive producer Agasa Oguso Asante said about me is back to Asante 3 Bishia and then of course Friday so 1 to 3 Bishia kopim say Yebeto Abanevi declare Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the president-elect of the Republic